Preseason is that beautiful time of the year when hope is at an all-time high for downtrodden fan bases who will soon experience the same disappointment they experienced last year. In celebration of this heavenly time, I bring you the stock report from Week 1. Which players and teams have shown flashes that are turning their tuned-out fans into believers, and which teams are on the Titanic, on the verge of hitting the iceberg of despair.
No.
First up, stock way down. The schedule makers. The NBA schedule makers were smoking something strong this season. It's almost like they are trying to replicate and break the longest record that was set by Cade Cunningham and his crew last season. They gave the toughest starting schedules to some of the weakest teams in the league. Toronto has the toughest schedule to start the season, then the Nets, then Portland, then Detroit. Another philosophy is that these brutal starting schedules for weaker teams gives them a chance to steal some wins from the better teams at the beginning of the season, before the better teams get into a rhythm. But most fans of these teams would beg to differ. And just like that, the Tankathon has begun. Hashtag Cooper Flag.
And look at the 4 teams.
Correct.
Does the NBA office have something to do with that?
Look at the 4 teams.
Stock up, the New York Knicks.
Hey, Knicks fans, let's get to work. See you at the Garden.
So, there is a new Big 3 in New York. Nope, not that one. Actually, it's a Big 4. Brunson, OG, Bridges, and now Karl Anthony Towns, who is already making himself right at home in the city. Naturally, Cat's first bucket in a Knicks jersey was a bomb from way downtown.
Karl Anthony Towns, no hesitation near the range of the big man.
And Knicks fans are already celebrating being 2-0 in the Karl Anthony Towns era. It's going to be interesting to see how that Tibbs defense holds up with Cat playing defensive anchor.
I think we can be a great defensive team. You know, we have a lot of other good defenders as well. So I think it'll be really good.
Overall, a lot of happy vibes at the Garden so far.
Nobody's reaction. Moment of truth, Mike.
Stock down, the Clippers. After losing Paul George this summer, the Clippers filled up their roster with all of the league's deplorables, namely Kevin Porter Jr.
NBA player Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested at a Manhattan hotel for domestic assault, allegedly.
And Kai Jones.
A gold time or there? I'm in a gold day? I had to do drugs or something. No, by myself, not a drug, man. I'm about to get traded.
And already drama is bubbling in Clipperland, as they've mutually agreed to have PJ Tucker away from the team, while the two parties work toward a resolution for his future. Meanwhile, according to Kawhi, none of the new guys on the team have really made a big impression during training camp.
But nobody stood out to me so far.
But at least the fans will all have a VIP look of the coming chaos in the new arena.
So everybody's VIP when you come?
Everybody is VIP, and then these buttons allow us to interact with the Halo boards.
Will the basketball gods give us at least one healthy Kawhi season in LA? Only time will tell. Stock up, the Warriors. Speaking of Clipper chaos, the Warriors started preseason by putting in their deposit into the fund.
1.6, down 2. Lindy Waters for the win.
And after losing Clay this summer, Dub Nation snagged Buddy Hield to be the new Splash cousin.
Buddy Hield fit right in with the Warriors' offensive style in the first half. Hits another 3. He's 5 for 5 from behind the arc.
And yes, that is DeMar in a Kings uniform getting splashed on.
The bonus can do that, opens things up for everybody else. And there's another 3 for Buddy Hield.
Ultimately, the question for the Warriors is how much growth and development will Kuminga, Moody, and Pods show this year?
Turnaround jumper, rattles down for Kuminga.
Because we know what the baby-faced assassin and Uncle Dre will bring. Are the youths ready enough to step up and be reliable positives day in and day out? Warriors fans are hoping the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Stock down, LaMelo Ball. In his first 3 years in the NBA, LaMelo Ball has had 11 injuries. 7 of those have been ankle injuries.
Oh, and LaMelo. Oh,
and LaMelo's going to have to come out of the game.
But finally, common sense has prevailed, because this season, LaMelo has finally agreed to wear ankle braces for the whole year.
So, Eric, all the players were asked about goals for this season. For LaMelo Ball, number one, stay healthy. Of course, the target area are those ankles, so he has decided this season to wear some ankle braces, so he is wearing them today, and the plan is for him to wear them all season long. They're underneath the socks, so you can't really see them.
While this is good news for Hornets fans, the fact that it took this much for common sense to make sense over there in Charlotte is a big L from an opportunity cost perspective on his development. Stock down, the Miami Heat. Things could get bad fast in South Beach, and I'm not talking about the recent hurricanes. Jimmy Butler didn't get an extension this summer, and if the Heat get off to a slow start, then we might be looking at a disaster as horrible as his exit from Minnesota in 2018.
Jimmy Butler's in street clothes as you see the next 5 games from the Wolves. Jimmy just won't play in Minnesota.
On the bright side, the Heat's 15th overall pick this year has looked great. The kid has been blocking shots with a vengeance.
Khalil Ware with a block shot.
Pulling up from 3.
Khalil Ware for 3.
Hitting the midi.
That's Khalil Ware ringing up 2 more.
And finishing strong.
Ware. Oh, beware of that. Khalil with a flush.
What's not to like?
Oh, he got another piece of that. And a block again for Ware.
And with news of Bam shooting more threes this year, a new dimension might open itself up in Miami. But until we know what is happening with Jimmy, all Heat culture excitement must be tempered. Stock up. Memphis. Grizzlies fans absolutely cannot catch a break.
I mean, this is getting carried away.
Yeah, it's getting carried away to the point that you're endangering the physical welfare of people.
Preseason started with them getting hyped.
Go Grizzlies! Yeah, I'm gonna see my husband. You see? Oh, I can't do that. Oh wait, she got it on her back.
Tell him.
After seeing Ja back on the court, lobbing the ball to their 7'4", 299-pound rookie center.
He got up a little bit. That wasn't all just height and length. He left the ground.
But the good vibes evaporated as soon as they began, with Ja injuring his ankle right away.
The pass went down off. Oh, the ball went off his foot, and that same right foot rolled over. You see the ankle turn for Ja Morant.
Thankfully, the MRI revealed only a mild ankle sprain. As far as Edey, the Rook was dominant in the paint.
And there it is, Edey over Sharp, 7-4 over 7-5. Alley-oop for Edey from Luke Kennard.
And he projects to be a dominant rebounder. However, foul trouble, a problem he didn't have in college, is already starting to rear its ugly head against the pros.
Shaden Hardy back the other way, clobbered, headed to the line.
Hardy's a tough player.
He knew he was going to get clobbered.
He did.
He had 5 fouls in only 18 minutes in his debut. The Grizzlies are a dark horse in the stacked Western Conference. And if Ja can stay out of trouble, it's going to be an exciting season in Grind City. Stock up, the French Hawks. After giving us Wemby last year, France gave us another #1 draft pick, Zachary Risacher. But Hawks fans have been getting a lot of hate ever since. Because, well, how could he ever measure up to the young giant? Thankfully for Atlanta, Zach saved them from even more brutal trolling by playing well in his preseason debut.
That's what we were talking about. Risacher to Capella. Oh, baby. A little French pastry on opening night. Risacher connects.
The Rook is showing up and showing out.
And with Vit giving us this beauty of a dime.
Look at that bounce pass to Buffkin. Are you kidding me?
The vibes were immaculate in Atlanta. However, even more important to this season is that the Hawks have really fortified their defense to cover for Trey's deficiencies on that side of the court. Getting Dyson Daniels in that DeJounte Murray trade was huge. The kid is a menace defensively, and his addition should pay huge dividends to plugging many holes on that side of the floor. Don't be surprised if this team makes it into the playoffs this season.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah.
Stock down, Bronny James. Lakers fans started preseason giving each other Steve Harvey-level motivational speeches.
The ability to dream is a blessing.
Making sure to remind each other, hey guys, remember it's not just JJ on the bench. But there's some good news for those that bleed purple and gold. We are already starting to see glimpses of what the Lakers offense is going to look like under JJ Redick. Less isolation, a ton ton of off-ball screens, and a ton of movement.
Not the end all.
Underneath score, counted! Free throw upcoming for Gabe.
If LeBron doesn't revert back to his instincts of the entire offense being generated through him, then this might be a fun offense. While Connect has been a breath of fresh air so far,
Connect doubled up and he still knocks it down.
Bronny has been a disaster. Even with one of the best players ever coaching him, things do not look good out there on the court. In an act of pure desperation, some fans were trying to compare this block by Bronny
But James was there.
to the infamous LeBron chase down block on Iggy. That is crazy work. All in all, it's too early to say if Bronny will be a bust, but Kwame Brown has already decided.
But I see a kid just coasting because he has a guaranteed contract. Anybody else in that position would be cut.
Now, of course, these are only some of the best storylines from this preseason so far. There are so many more that just didn't make this week's cut, like Aaron Gordon beautifully serenading his haters.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you.
While Chris Paul and Wemby were working on their pick and roll chemistry, and while Chet's new shot is now faster with a higher release point, we also learned that the Wolves have a new certified walking bucket. In their 8th overall pick, Rob Dillingham, we are almost just a week away from the season starting, and something tells me this one is going to be even better than the last.